Shala Monroque is a St. Lucian living in New York, working in fashion and art. One of my friends became the editor-in-chief of Pop magazine, and she asked me to join her on the team. I hadn't really done anything in fashion, so I guess we had neither of us had, so I guess we had a fresh take on things, and it kind of snowballed into there. I was blogging at the time for the magazine, and I think I got noticed for what I was writing, which was probably a fresh take on fashion at the time, and it kind of snowballed from there. I don't know, I don't really think about it. I don't really think about it. I'm happy if I'm an inspiration to people. I think, I don't know, my country, St. Lucia, is such a huge inspiration, and if I can share that with others, then I'm really happy to. I think so, always. Like sometimes I cornrow my hair, or I don't know, I think color comes naturally to me. I think having grown up in the Caribbean, in St. Lucia, where you have so many different colors everywhere, from, I mean, the sky to the trees, plants, people, houses, belle couleur. So I guess I got that naturally. Sometimes I wear a turban. My mother wears a turban sometimes. Well, not a turban, she wears it around the house. Yes, I think St. Lucia was St. Lucia played a big part in who I am. I grew up here. I moved when I was 20, so I had a really solid foundation, and I think that informs everything I do. I think we have good groundings here. I think I still think so. The things that our parents taught us, the manners, just being gracious and sociable. I think these things will take you far. Now I'm freelancing, consulting for different brands in fashion art and interior design. La Mer is one of them. Gagosian Gallery I work for, and there's a new young couple of furniture designers who launching actually this month, that I'll be hosting and working with them closely on that. It was a bit overwhelming. I agreed to do it mainly because I thought there's hardly ever any women of color on that magazine. It's the oldest magazine in America. The only other person I can think of was Iman, so I thought that was important. A few months leading up to it, I was very, very nervous about it being released, but I'm happy I did it. I think the more women of color are featured in fashion and ad campaigns on the cover of magazines, then we're getting one step closer to, well, I don't want to say being included, but getting the recognition we deserve. I didn't see myself as a fashion icon, but I guess looking at the age we live in, the digital age, I guess maybe there are people whose images filter through on the internet and people gravitate to, they like their style. So I guess that's one way of looking at it. I thought it was too big a title for me before. I kind of still do, but I guess I'm honored. This season, which is spring, what did I like? Actually got a few pieces from Balenciaga. I don't really, or I like to think I don't shop a lot, but I like to buy classic pieces that I can keep wearing over and over again. I don't like to follow trends necessarily. I mean, I follow it, I pay attention to it in terms of what's happening now, but I don't like to be a part of the trend. So I follow it so that I can do otherwise.
Okay, so what are some key pieces that every woman should own then?
Good question. I think, well, I guess in New York or European cities, a good coat, a good tailored coat, a pair of good heels, black, a good handbag, a classic handbag, something leather, not frivolous, not too trendy, so that it will be timeless. A good pair of jeans. What else? Lipstick. I like red lipstick. I think good coat, good shoes, and a smile. Yeah. Well, first of all, to pay attention, and I noticed that most young people, even children here, have telephones and have access to the internet, so pay attention to what the big magazines are doing, what the designers are doing. Go to the library. There's a library here. I used to go as a child. I think that was that formed a big part of who I am. Go to the library and read, not only read about fashion, read about anything you can get your hands on, because that's really where you're going to stand out. Fashion really is based on references, cultural references, historical references, and it's not really about knowing so much about clothes per se, but having a point of view. And there are many different fields in fashion. It doesn't have to, now especially because it's so big, I mean, you can work in photography and music and design, graphic design, textile design, web design, social media, all of that. There are these are different facets of fashion. And you don't necessarily even have to be in a big city these days to work in fashion or in many fields. You can, if you have a strong enough point of view and even be here, you can be noticed if you have something unique to say. So read is the first thing. Go to the library, go online and read.
I know you have a foundation, Kids for Coral. Can you talk to us a little bit about that?
Well, it's not my foundation. It was started by the Caribbean Environmental Alliance, and one of the brands that I worked with gave me some money to give to a charity of my choice, and I was looking for something in St. Lucia. Why not? And someone pointed out Kids for Coral to me, and I thought it was really great because I remember my mother worked at a hotel, and sometimes the guests would invite me over to the hotel and I'd go snorkeling. I had access to certain things that not every child has access to, and I think it's shaped my respect for the environment. And I think if we start young with the kids, then that's going to change the way they view and appreciate the environment and what they tell their parents as well. So I think if we start young and help kids form a healthy relationship with the environment, then that's just a step in the right direction. So I hope a company from St. Lucia will pick it up and continue sponsoring. I know there are lots of lovely hotels on the beaches, so it would be nice if they would chip in.
And do you have any